of you please, introduce yourself to the other person?
Sure.
You want me to
Ladies
go
first.
first? Okay. My name's Katie, and I have a health coaching business that I run, and it's called Live Positively. And I've been working one-on-one with clients. I was working in a company and quit from there in July. So started this mainly in July, but working one-on-one with clients, mainly doing things like heavy metal detox, working with mold, parasites, um, autoimmune, like a lot of different things that stem from heavy metals in our system, and just basically two problems with the cell is malnourishment and toxicity. So those two things are usually what leads to any sort of disease or disruption in the system. So starting that, and then now moving also into corporate wellness for companies that have 50 to 300 employees is really where I'm focusing in, and working with those companies on wellness programs like 6-week challenges and things like that. And I'm doing a 6-week challenge for consumers starting this fall as well. So,
Fantastic. Fantastic. My wife is a patient advocate. So understanding all that stuff is is it's important. We people take for granted their health and the issues that are impacting us as we get older, especially, and we're getting older every day, which means we're still around.
oh, yes.
All right. Well, I'm glad to have you here.
Thank you.
Um, okay, Anthony, please
All
introduce you.
right. Morning. Yeah, so I actually run two businesses. So I have a financial planning practice that I run. Been doing it for almost 25 years now. I'm a certified financial planner. And it's interesting, Katie, because you mentioned kind of partnering with corporate companies. I'm actually looking to do the same thing on the financial planning side. So being able to come in to some of the businesses that, to your point, have 50 or more. My kind of target is more around the 100 plus, where we can come in and deliver financial literacy for the employees as kind of an extra benefit. Um, but then I also have my practice as well, where I manage, client relationships, everything from investment management to financial planning, retirement planning, trust and estate. So basically across the entire wealth spectrum. And then this year, I started my own business as in doing auto detail. So completely opposite from a financial planning background, but just something I wanted to do. I'm very passionate about cars, and um, so I got that started, and it's with a similar concept. We actually are a niche where we are setting up shop in a lot of the corporate and commercial facilities to be able to provide services to the tenants and employees. So right now we're actually located at the Phoenix Plaza, where we support three commercial buildings. Banner Health actually being the largest um, of the tenants here in the building. So yeah, so having a lot of fun. It's been a good journey.
Yeah, life's a journey. So if you take advantage of it, then you're in good shape, right? Too many people just don't know where to go. And I'm going to talk about that in a little while, something that I created, and I'm very, very excited about it. So glad to have you here, Anthony. Glad
Thank
glad
you.
to see you're on a journey. Alicia,
Ah, I'm here. Yes.
talk to us. Tell us who you are, what you do.
Hi, I am Alicia Beccarelli. I own a small business bookkeeping company, and I own a separate not bookkeeping, separate company that does small business automations. My main focus is, if you can't guess, very small businesses. So, with my bookkeeping, I offer kind of a mini CFO service. So my clients all get, instead of your regular 3 reports, they have a custom portal where all of our calls are uploaded. They get a system of 6 to 7 reports each month, and they're all broken down in a video and sent to them. So they always have access to those videos. And I I also offer kind of even within that small business automations. So I do set up automations for bookkeeping as well for the businesses that are really small and can't afford a bookkeeper. And my focus is connecting CRMs and project management systems so that businesses can save hours and hours and hours. My one of my last clients saved 14 hours a month on just email sending, just
Wow.
sending emails and sending out invoices and everything because I automated it. So now she doesn't have to hire someone to do that for her because she didn't have those hours to spend. Um, so that's a quick rundown of what I do. Obviously, it gets deeper than that, but I my goal is to get small business owners to feel like they own a bigger business without having to spend all of their money doing so because it's so easy to bankrupt a small business, you know? So I want to make sure that they have everything they need to scale up without spending all of their money doing it.
What's the I know the statistic is and I'm kind of forgetting it, but what's the percentage of businesses that fail in the first 3 years? Something like 70%?
God, it's like between like 70 and 80%. And if you're a restaurant, good luck. It's even
Yeah.
higher than it's wild. It's so, and I think a lot of that honestly is people just giving up because they think that they're going to be immediately profitable. And I think that people, this is what I see a lot of, especially younger people. Um, they mistake profit for cash flow. So they think I have money coming in, so I'm making a profit. Your revenue and your profit are not the same. They're not the same thing,
So true.
you
So
know. And I see it a lot because my daughter has a photography business, and people are like, "Oh yeah, you make nothing but profit." And she's like, "You're hilarious." She's like, "No, I don't." She goes, "I put out so much money to backgrounds and things like that." She's like, she goes, "Just because I'm making money doesn't mean I'm making all that money." She goes, "I get like 10% of that, you know?"
get it. Totally get it. All right. Well, I'm glad you're here. Katie Rip?
Yeah, hi. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, hear you fine.
Yeah, sorry to join a little late. So a little bit about me. I am not probably too far off from what Alicia does, but it sounds like Alicia, you've got some really cool automation stuff that sounds really interesting. So I am a CPA. I work in tax. I primarily work with individuals and small businesses, so a lot of self-employed individuals, people with S corps, small partnerships, things of that nature. So yeah, I've been just wanted to join and kind of meet with some other individuals in Arizona. So my clientele is kind of nationwide, but it's really fun in my opinion to meet with other people that are in the area and just get to network with other people who are doing different stuff in all kinds of different industries. So
Excellent.
yeah.
Excellent. All right. So thank you. I'm glad you're here. Thank you for your attendance. Um, we're gonna make this we're gonna make this meeting very, very powerful. Um, my name is Bob Friedenthal. I I have a team of people that manage LinkedIn accounts primarily, but we're also spinning off. I used to manage a lot of Facebook accounts, got so overwhelmed with all this stuff, we just stayed focused because, go where the money is. LinkedIn's got the highest income level, the most professionals of any website on the planet. So they're now at, and by the way, Microsoft bought them a number of years ago for $26 billion. How many of you knew that? Nobody. Oh, that's interesting. Um, yeah. And what they've been doing is trying to really, really blow it up and turn it into something much, much bigger, which they're doing great strides and doing that. So powerful. How many of you really rely on LinkedIn for some of your bread and butter?
I'm just getting more
Trying
into it now, so haven't really done much with it so far.
Gotcha.
Yeah, same here.
I'm trying to.
Who just said that? Was that
Alicia, that'd be me.
gotcha.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's always it's a drill down. You got to drill in and drill down to get to the fruit of where you make money. And we're living in a new society, which God, communication is the most vital thing, but getting people there was something like there was a big number of people that registered for this event. And look at this. One, two, three, four, five people show up. And I probably had somewhere around 100 people register. What does that tell you? What are they after? What do you think they're after? A database.
Yes.
That's what they're after. They're after a database. And so you register for an event and you'll capture some of the information, but where do you go with it? And that's where the big problem is. How many of you are using AI?
Yeah, I am a little bit.
Okay, Anthony,
No.
Alicia.
I actually signed up for the trial of Blaze that I had told you about.
Oh,
And
right.
it's pretty robust. I think it's kind of pricey. It gives you a lot of the same stuff, but it gives you what Chat GPT can give you, but a lot faster and without you having to come up with the prompts.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I like it. I'm like, can I justify spending the money on it?
Can I ask you how much you're paying?
It's $30 a month, but that's like their lowest price plan. So if you're using it for, say, like social media and creating everything, you could run out of the that level really fast. I think it's like up to, I think 30,000 words. But I'm like, if you're using it for everything, you could run out of that really fast.
Sure.
So then you're pricing up to like $70 a month. But I'm like, it's because of their limits on the words that you get back that I wonder if their pricing is is kind of crazy for what they're asking.
Here you go. Katie, Rip, what about you? Using any
Yeah,
AI?
definitely ChatGPT. And we actually have a tax ChatGPT that we use for like tax research and stuff. Same thing, it's very expensive, but it is very convenient. And it's not the most accurate, but it's a really good starting point that just makes our lives so much more efficient.
Can I ask you what it costs?
Yeah, I actually don't manage the software and the costs. I was actually just talking to my boss about it. He says he thinks it's like several $1,000s per user per year.
Whoa,
Because
that's heavy
it
duty.
is, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the top of the line tax AI software out there right now.
Okay, for the other people that are using AI, who are you using? ChatGPT? That's the
Mostly.
big boy out there. Alicia?
That's what I mostly use is Chat GPT. I just find that I don't know, the most convenient. It gives the best answers. They're not always accurate, but it gives the best responses.
Okay. So yeah, I use Chat GPT, but I also have a tool that I can take a Chat GPT message and refine it to something that is very, very personalized. That's one piece. And then the other piece is we combine data, which you don't get on Chat GPT, right? You don't get it. So in the next day or so, we're going to have a tool where you can combine um, data and AI together and be able to research that down to location, because that's the other piece that most of these tools do not have, is they don't have a location-based ability on it. Well, guess what, gang? My programmers are telling me for this next piece that I have, wanting them to create, you're going to be able to take a look at mycity.com, if you will, register for it. There's no cost in registering. But once we get the ball rolling, there will be some slight costs on it. I'm actually today, and I haven't done this for eons. I haven't gone to look for venture capital. So I actually have a number of people that have in their LinkedIn a designation as venture capitalists. So I might be heading in that direction. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going to be. But my programmers now are combining an AI tool with data. And that's where I think most of the people fall off the cliff. You can write articles, right? But the problem with the article is, well, how do you get it distributed? Anybody got any answers? Nothing. Okay. So I think I've got something so powerful here that you'll be able to combine your data and your AI message to distribute it. And I'm even looking at venture capital here that's going to help propel this along. Because anybody else hear of anything like that?
I
No,
haven't.
you have not?
No, I haven't heard anything like that yet.
Okay, well, it's coming. It's coming. We'll have it launched by the end of this week. So, what good is AI if you can't distribute it? You hope that it gets out there, right? So in my AI, what you can then do is you can take like a chat GPT message and then go edit it. And then the next piece is distributing it. So Alicia, you being a client, I don't know if hey Mahedi, are we researching any of Alicia's clients for phone numbers or anything like that?
No, not yet, but we are
Okay.
preparing to doing that.
Okay, get started today, dude.
Sure.
Yeah, this is very explosive. I was a director of accounting for a publicly traded company. I fell in love with computers. Okay, so now I'll let you guess my age. That's when a 300 megabyte hard drive was the size of a washing machine and $40,000 to $50,000. Any of you ever hear of a company called Max Factor? It was the largest cosmetic company in the world. And I worked for them, and I was hired by them as a director of accounting to clean up all the frauds that were going on. So that was in the early 70s. Now you're really going to guess my age. That was in the early 70s. And so I decided I was hired to clean up all the frauds. First fraud that I was responsible to clean up was the accounts payable department, like 1971, 72, something like that. $220,000 fraud in the accounts payable department. What do you think that's worth today? $1.5 million, $1.7 million? So we're not talking about little mitts. This is big time stuff. The Factor family was making so much money. They were bought out by a company called Norton Simon, big, huge conglomerate. So they hired me to go in and clean up the fraud. So that's when I had a brilliant idea of using computers to help. Could you imagine that? So have you ever heard the term SEO? Raise your hand if you've heard the term SEO.
That'd be me. Yep.
Okay, I got started with SEO before the term even existed. So we got a latecomer here. Melanie, you want to
Hello,
hi.
how are you? I'm sorry I'm late. I have
Good. Good. You want to tell us who you are?
I'm Melanie Alston. I'm the inventor of a patented product called Fushins, Fushionz.com. It's a shock absorbent padded footwear category, but it's integrated into socks, no-shows, and eventually over time we're going to put it into all things like thigh highs, pantyhose, knee highs, anything that's in the hosiery or footwear category. So it has these pressure points at the ball of foot, and then the gel goes into the toe and in the heel. So it's a multi-purpose product that can be worn in your shoes or around the house on hardwood floors. For people who need that extra shock support in their shoes. A friend had gifted me an expensive pair of tennis shoes about 4 years ago for my birthday, and after about 6 months, the heel cushion part of it started to sink. And I've sold them to lots of nurses and even surgeons who say they sit on their feet all day. And the, typical tennis shoes like Skechers and other memory foam type products, they collapse really quickly after about 30 days, and you have to buy new pairs every 30 days or every 60 days. So this will not collapse. It can maintains its support, absorbs that shock into your feet, knees, lower back from standing on hard surfaces like cement, tile, things that you don't want to feel that make you cause general fatigue and make you want to sit down or not come to work or go home early.
This is interesting stuff. How did you find us?
On LinkedIn.
On me, Karen and Bob Friedenthal?
LinkedIn I was sent an invite.
Okay, yeah, that came from us. All right, good stuff.
Fushins.com.
Oh, I saw that, come to think of it. I saw that. So yeah, we are connected.
Uh-huh.
Is any of this stuff intriguing you people? Say yes, say no. Let's, be honest and figure out the key to this thing is getting people to work together in a group, to build it into something, to refer business to each other. So I called, if you read it, I'm sure you registered it. We're a networking / referral group. The objective is to be able to refer people. How many of you are getting your business based on referrals?
I've got
All of it.
1, 2. Alicia, you are, right?
Oh yeah, it's all refer. I'm a bookkeeper. It's always all just referrals.
Yeah. Well,
Killing me.
it's the work that we do for you. So.
Yeah, exactly.
And Kelly, Rip, you get it from referrals?
Yeah, it's a mixture of referrals seem to be the best kind of new business. So yeah, a lot of referrals.
Okay, and Melanie?
A few of the stores I'm in were referred from other stores.
Gotcha. Harvard Business Review wrote several years ago that 60% of most people's new business comes from referral. So go look in Google, search it out, ask Google, where do most people get their new business? And they're going to say it's coming from referrals. So that's why these networking groups. I have another group that I run tomorrow. I have 2 more groups tomorrow. One's at 8 a.m. It's all Pacific. The other one's at 10. The 8 a.m. has been meeting for a number of years. We used to meet in person pre-COVID, and then when COVID hit, everybody went to Zoom. So I have about 30 people that show up for that tomorrow. And then I have another group at 10 a.m. that is a veterans group. I'm a veteran. So I've I've always liked to support veterans. So anybody a veteran here? Probably not.
That'd be me. Me,
Oh, you are?
Alicia. I am. I was in the Marine Corps.
Oh, have you ever come to our veterans group meeting?
No, I didn't know about it. As soon as you said a veterans group, I was like, hi, me.
Mehedi, send Alicia an invite to the veterans group. It runs at 10 o'clock.
Okay,
Um,
I make sure.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. So, very cool. So
Yeah, always looking to
you
support
were in the
veterans.
Marine Corps, you said?
I was in the Marine Corps, and my first husband was he was he was 82nd Airborne in the Army. It was quite the debacle when when we got married. Everybody was like, "What are you doing?" We were
Interesting.
stationed in two whole different parts of the U.S.
And you were married.
Yeah, so I ended up I went in the reserves, started in the reserves, and then I ended up requesting to go active reserve. So I would do a couple months at a time in Miramar at
Been
Miramar
there.
Marine Air Station.
Been
And
there.
so, yeah, loved it. Loved
Yeah, there's a
every
great bar
minute.
there.
Yeah,
I can remember.
it was always really funny because when anybody would come with me on base, they'd be like, "Oh, where do you work?" And they would recognize the hangars. And because the wing that I worked in, the hangar that I would that most of my friends worked in was actually the hangar that was used in the filming of Top Gun, the original one.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Cool.
So
Hey,
that was
by the way, I forgot to mention, did any of you put your information into the chat?
I did.
I did.
Okay, great. And if there's a phone number attached, that makes it easier because what we do is we publish this video in the whole process, and then we email it out to you. So make sure you put a phone number so we can be in contact, and also an email address. Because what we will do is we will email you this video. Any of
Okay.
Straight up, any of you finding this interesting?
I am. I
Great
always do that.
hand if you're finding it interesting. One, oh boy, two.
Oh, well, me, I just can't see it on my phone.
Okay. And Katie, what about you? Are you finding this meeting interesting?
Me, yeah, absolutely. Oh, there's two Katies. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Katie. Yeah, Katie Mata.
Oh, yes, definitely. Just trying to put my stuff in the chat without
Oh, yeah.
having it enter.
You can't multitask?
Apparently not.
Look, if you're willing to participate, we call this, as I said earlier, this is a networking referral group. And you're not going to refer people until you get to know them. Now, I also have some other tools that you can use. There's a questionnaire that I ask people to fill out. If you could fill that out, it's mycity.com, mycity.com/questionnaire. There's two N's in questionnaire. Fill that out. And then what I will try to do, once you fill it out, it only takes a couple minutes to fill it out. Once you fill it out, it gives me a little bit of a heads up of who you are, what you're looking for. And I love giving referrals. That's why I run referral groups. Okay. So being able to refer, most of you are saying that you're getting your business by referral, right?
Yeah.
That's a powerful tool, isn't it?
Especially for the stores, I would say. Just the stores I got in were referred from another store. Not
Yeah.
all in the beginning, the first few. I just got into REI and there's 187 stores in the US. I'm only in the one store near me, which is in Paradise Valley. But the other stores were all referrals.
Excellent. All right. Any questions? Nothing? Anthony? You have any questions?
Sorry, I'm good. I'm eating a granola bar, which is why I turned my camera off.
Can I have a bite?
I know, right?
Yeah, this is look, there's only so many hours in a day, right? And you exhaust them. So I have a staff of people, the picture of mycity.com, that's Mehedi. He's the head of my social media. We will send you the recording of this message of this video, and you can figure out what you want to do with it. But look, we're all here to grow business, right? Anybody
Right.
not here to grow business? If you're not, then leave this group. Um, and so I'll give you a little bit of my history. Okay. I was in the military. I got out of the military like 50 years ago. Any of you ever heard of a gentleman named Alexander Haig? No? Interesting. Okay. He was the head of my base. The base was called SACLANT, Supreme Allied Commander of the Atlantic. He ran the base. He became a Secretary of State under, I can't remember which president. And let's see, who one of the presidents that got, was it Nixon that got shot? Can't remember. So he was Secretary of State. He wanted to take over, but it goes to the vice president next. So he got a lot of flack over that. So this was a top secret base. In fact, it was 2 levels above top secret. So I think you can entrust your confidential information to me because I had 2 levels above. I had what was called a cosmic, which was NATO, a TOML, which years ago was a classified term. You couldn't even tell other people the classification you had. So kind of an interesting way through life. And I'll share one other thing. On my 21st birthday, my birthday is March 7th. My 21st birthday, there was a solar eclipse. And I think that was in, wait a minute, I'm getting dates wrong here. I can't remember what date it was, but there was a full solar eclipse. You could read about it on Google. And so I was in this building that had no windows. And so I went outside to see the eclipse, and I looked up and it was pitch black. Streetlights came on. I got out of the service in 1971. So now you're really finding out my age. But you know, to even get a top secret clearance, they spent, this was, I got out of the service. I went in the service at 68, 69 or 70. They spent $130,000 researching my background to give me a top secret clearance. That's a lot of money, wouldn't you say? And they went back and they interviewed people where I grew up. At the age of 3, they interviewed people that were around me. So, you know, you're not just given top secret clearance for nothing. It means the government is entrusting your information and putting it and giving you a clearance. So just give you a little bit more history of everything that's going on. So, did everybody put their information in the chat? Okay, we will send you the video of this meeting. I hope you got some value out of it. I got a little chatty, I gotta tell you. I do acknowledge that, but I'm trying to build, it helps you build relationships one person at a time, right? If all
Right.
this stuff with AI, if you think you're building gobs of relationships through an AI message, I think you might be mistaken. It's people to people. You've got to get to know people, and especially Anthony being entrusted with people's confidential information for what you do. It's all regarding trust, isn't it? So value that, value him, value this gentleman, because this is what he does for a living. And everybody here is in Arizona, right? Did I have?
Yeah.
Okay. So I bounce back and forth into Arizona. All right. Any kind of questions? Nothing at all. All right. So I will follow up with you. I welcome you to come back to this meeting. It meets every week at the same time. And we'll try to make it more productive. But I'd highly recommend that you talk to the people in this group, because I think you'll find that there's some value there. Is that an okay statement?
Yes.
I think it's true. And to add in, I know that we do have some people that are regulars that are missing because we have to remember it's the Jewish holiday season. So some of our regular people are missing because they're out for the next several weeks. They're not
Correct.
working.
Correct. Correct. All of you, any of you grow up in Arizona?
I did not.
One person, Anthony did. Melanie, where are you originally from?
North Carolina.
Oh, okay.
Lived here since 2007.
Katie, Mata, where did you grow up?
I've lived in a lot of different places, but I grew up in Michigan and I've been here since 2007 as well.
It's a long time.
Hmm.
And Alicia, you're from. No,
I'm
wait.
I grew up in California. I grew up in Temecula, California, and I've been here since 2012.
Okay. The other Katie?
I'm originally from Illinois, the Chicago area, and I've been here since 2018.
So my wife and I have been married for 41 years. We've moved 21 times
Wow.
in 41 years. And the reason we did, when you look up my name on LinkedIn, it's Karen and Bob Friedenthal. Look up, type after that in Google, Quake Heroes. So in 1994, there was an earthquake in California. Anybody remember that? No.
Yes, yep.
Okay. So,
I-
um, so what happened, we had two little kids. We had a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old. And we lived on a tri-level home at the top of what's called Beverly Glen in Mulholland. A lot of people have heard of Mulholland Highway. So my wife had to hand me the kids down to this open stairwell, and I ran the kids outside and put them in the car with with our housekeeper. And then we went back in, going door to door, pulling people out of their homes. Some of the people stopped breathing. I mean, it was that violent, an earthquake, that people stopped breathing. And so my wife and I were written up as Quake heroes because of that. Anybody remember the name Maria Shriver?
I do.
Okay. Maria Shriver wanted us to be spokespeople for earthquake preparedness. But we lost everything. We didn't have clothes, we didn't have dishes, we ate on paper plates for like 2 years because we lost everything. Our house, we tried to call Bank of America to work with us on the house, because it was in such horrible shape. Bank of America never even called us back. So we let it go to foreclosure. We bought a house before the house foreclosed, so you all live through good times and bad times, right? The one thing that we've learned, take this with you. If you don't learn anything else from the meeting, be happy, because you create your own happiness. And that has such a huge bearing in your life. Whether you go through it, look what's going on in Florida. All the people have lost everything as a result of what went on there. 2 hurricanes. And for somebody like Anthony, Arizona is not known very much for earthquakes, but there's fires. Think of the fires. There have been quite a few fires in Arizona, right? Haven't there been? Or am I mistaken?
Mhm.
So being able to pick up and get going again, there's only one person that's going to do that, yourself. So if I haven't given you other pieces of advice, that certainly is one. Okay, last question, and be honest. How many of you would return to this group, assuming we build it? Making the assumption that we build this group, how many of you would return?
I'll be back next week.
I would.
Who said
I
that?
would.
Who just said that? Katie Rip? Did you say, somebody else said they would be back?
I said I would.
Michelle,
Yeah,
Okay.
I would absolutely come
Michelle,
back.
bring a friend.
There you
Yeah,
go.
well, thank you.
So bring a friend.
Bring a friend. Bring somebody that wants to grow their business. And do you know anybody that doesn't want to grow their business? None of us do. So that means that you have an ability to help springboard it. So usually what we do is we give, and if you're interested in coming to tomorrow's 8 a.m. meeting, it's mostly people out of Southern California, but you're more than welcome to attend it. How many of you would be interested in attending a meeting that has 30 people show up and the people refer business to each other? Any of you?
I will 100% be there, and I can say that that group is they're really good. They do refer people to one another, and I think it would be a good example of what this group would look like if we would each tell people about it and bring people in. It'd be an excellent example if anybody wants to see what that looks like. It's a great group.
Anybody?
I,
You
I would
could
like,
go
I might have
ahead.
to on in the morning, so I'm not sure if I will have time.
Okay. Anthony, any interest?
Yeah, I'm always open.
Okay, Mehedi, send an invite to Anthony, if you will.
Sure.
Okay?
Okay.
And Katie Mata, interested?
Sure. I'm meeting with Chamber of Commerce tomorrow, but yeah, I don't know what time it is, but yeah.
Okay, well, we'll send the invite. You can always
Mhm.
ignore it.
Great.
And Katie Rip?
I can't make tomorrow, but I would love to, connect with other groups in the future.
Okay. Yeah, why don't we do this? Mehedi, send her the invite. We use the same link every week for our meetings. So we'll send you the invite now. you're only allowed to do 1,000 invites to an event. So if we still have
I will
room left,
going to personal message.
say again?
I will going to personally message him. Anthony,
I'm send me a Skype message and I'll figure it out from there. Okay? All right, ladies and gentlemen, we still have 9 minutes left, but I don't think I want to waste any more of your very valuable time because time's the only thing that we have. So I'll be signing us off in a few minutes. So thank you for attending. Love to see you again. Love to see how we can work together to help people grow. Anthony, I do know that there's compliance issues that you have. Are you series licensed?
Yeah, so I'm a certified financial planner. Yeah.
Series 6?
No, I don't have securities licenses. I just do what we call managed money. So I have my 65. So I don't do any type of like brokerage business. It's basically just financial planning and investment management that's fee based.
Got it. Got it. Okay. Good stuff. Well, thank you. My son works at Mayo Clinic, so my wife and I, in fact, I think we're going to be there next week. We're going to be in Arizona. And in fact, I know we are. We're staying at the Westin next week in near Scottsdale. So,
That's probably down the street from me.
oh, is that right? How nice. All right, well, let's figure things out. Let's build teamwork and a group. It's better to have a group than trying to build it on yourself by yourself, correct?
Yep.
Yep.
All right, everybody, I'm going to be signing us off right now. So thank you so much for attending. This creates some more strength here.
Sounds good.
Goodbye, all. Thanks, Alicia.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.